Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Knights of the Alternate Table. Today in this video we're going to be discussing what if Italy joined the Central Powers in World War I. But what would change in our timeline to create this alternate timeline for Italy to have joined the Central Powers and keep their treaty with Germany, Austria, Romania, and others? Thank you for watching. What would change in our timeline to have Italy join the Central Powers in World War I? Well, originally the Central Powers were a defensive alliance, just like the Entente, with the World Powers realizing no one would be stupid enough to declare war on half of Europe. So, since World War I was an offensive war for the Central Powers, Italy refused to join them and wouldn't have joined the Entente until they offered them some land. So simply, to have Italy join the Central Powers in World War I, we would need to create an offensive war, either by having the Archduke Franz Ferdinand assassination linked to the Serbian military, which it was, causing a Serbian attack in Austrian lands. This would give Italy no choice. Romania would also have to join the war, due to it having the same treaty with Germany and Austria. France and Russia would expend more troops along their borders due to having huger fronts. Austria-Hungary and Italy would attack into Serbia and Montenegro, causing more Austrian troops to be on the Russian front with Romania. France couldn't draw soldiers in from its colonies as they would have to worry about Italian invasions. France would have to plead with Britain to join the war, which they would not be likely to, unless a reason was given. I could not see Switzerland or Belgium staying neutral in this timeline, as they would be great places for Germany to outflank. They would take most of Switzerland and most of Belgium. Britain would then declare war on the Central Powers. Italy, meanwhile, would invade through the south and then attack Corsica, as well as some French African colonies. The attack on Serbia and Montenegro would fail due to the Austrians' plan failing. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, there would be a lot of counterflanks. As Russians from Ukraine attack into Romania, Romanian southern divisions would attack up and over-circle them, while Russians in Poland would try to attack through Germany, causing Germany to encircle many Russians. Russians would try a few counterattacks. Austria-Hungary would hold, but lose a lot of land due to their incompetence in the war. The Western Front would fall into a trench warfare as it did in our timeline, while Italy from Corsica plans on invading southern France. In the African Front, Italy and France would keep on going at it. Austria-Hungary would try to take away some of its divisions to defend its Eastern Front from the Serbian Front. This would lead Italy, Austria-Hungary to attack into Serbia and Montenegro. The Ottoman Empire would join, while the Russians try to break through Poland. With Romania taking more land from Russia, the Ottoman Empire also taking more land, and the Russian breakthrough to Poland being a fail, causing most of their army to be obliterated in the attack, they would drop out of the war. Bulgaria, seeing the great success of the Central Powers, would join the war, and they would invade Serbia with the Ottoman Empire, Austria-Hungary, and Romania to expand Greater Bulgaria. The British Navy would try to fight, but they would be pincered by the Ottomans and Italians. Austria-Hungary would maintain Russian lands while Germany sends more troops to fight the Western Front. This would cause France, Belgium, and British forces to try and retreat. British Navy would attack the German Navy to stop them stopping their escape to the English Channel. King Albert would lead a desperate charge with his last Belgian forces that didn't retreat to fight off the Germans, having a heroic stand, while the French would retreat in Africa as well. The African front would be all but lost for the Entente powers. Britain, Belgians, and French would try to maintain the British Isles, but an Ireland rebellion would attack North Ireland, causing the British to leave. The French would try to hold, but they would be pushed back inch by Germans, Ottomans, and Italians, holding the line. The Irish rebellion may be sponsored by communist uprisings, but we don't know that for sure yet. In March 1918, the Entente powers would surrender. The French would be uprised by a communist rebellion, creating the French Commune. Ireland would switch to communism. Bulgaria would annex Serbia with Romania and Austria-Hungary. The German Empire would annex Belgium, while Italy annexes some southern French lands with some Switzerland. With the German Empire and Austria-Hungary, they would leave the Central Powers. Italy would also annex Corsica and French Africa, while Germany would keep the Balkans, Poland, Ukraine as puppet buffer states. Finland would be left to its own devices, while Morocco was liberated from the French. The Ottoman Empire and Romania would take much land from Western Russia to grow their empires larger, while everyone waited for Austria-Hungary to slowly collapse. Italy would join a new alliance with monarchies that aren't already in the Central Powers. Meanwhile, in Austria-Hungary, they would be overtaken by Croatian rebels, Greek rebels, Romanian rebels, Slavic rebels, Slovakian rebels, and Czech rebels. They would be sponsored by their sides, Croatian being sponsored by communism, Greek and Romania being sponsored by the Central Powers, while Ottoman Empire gets multiple rebellions of their own. Bulgaria would attack the Ottoman Empire while they're in their weakened state with multiple rebels. They would hold Istanbul, and they would manage to create the line that would define their border, while the monarchy in Austria-Hungary would flee to Germany, while Slovakian and the Czech rebels would seek protection with the Slavic rebels to keep them safe. Germany would accept this to create more buffer zones between him and the communists. The rebellion season would be over. The Kingdom of Slovakia would join British monarch's alliance with Norway, while the Czech Republic will join the Central Powers with Sweden. Greater Bulgaria would be formed, while Ottoman Empire and Austria-Hungary would suffer communist uprisings of their own for having multiple rebellions in their land. The Croatian Republic would join the communist side of the alliances. Other noteworthy exceptions on the faction map is the Balkans, Poland, Ukraine, all being German buffer states against the USSR, would join the Central Powers, with Morocco being liberated from France also joining the Central Powers. Portugal would join Britain in the war, with the Netherlands, Denmark, and Spain, which I forgot to mention earlier. This timeline's Comintern would have a lot of grudges. Ireland against the UK, France against the UK, Germany, and Italy, the Austria-Hungary against all of the Central Powers along with all of the rebels, Croatia with Greece, Ottomans with Greater Bulgaria, its rebellions in Greece, and the USSR with all of its outer states, Finland, Germany, and Romania. The British Monarch Alliance would have the fewest grudges, with everyone but Spain and Portugal having grudges against Germany. The UK would also have grudges on the Irish, while Italy having the most grudges on Croatia, Austria-Hungary, and the French Commune. Denmark on Norway and Sweden, Norway having grudges on Sweden, Spain on Morocco. This would cause heated tension in the area. Needless to say, the Central Powers would have the most infighting, as they would have grudges on pretty much all of themselves. This would cause a lot of tension in the Central Powers alliance. I can't summarize it all up in this short time I have before Spark stops working on me, so just look at this map, it'll explain a lot. Thank you everyone for watching part 1 of What If Italy Joined the Axis. In the next part, we will see the beginning of World War II and the after effects of the First World War. Be sure to like and subscribe. Sorry for this horrible editing and the commentary, because I have to use Adobe Spark. If you know any other online editing programs, please let me know so I can improve better content for you guys. Thanks for watching.